Good morning and welcome to the Fixed Ops Roundtable Dare to Dream. Our event is supporting the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, which is the leader in the fight to cure blood cancers. We are very honored today to welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable Dr. DeGennaro, who is the president and CEO of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. He's a great friend of the automotive community. He has been with us several times, and we are excited. Dr. Lou, welcome back to the Fixed Ops Roundtable.
Thank you, Ted. Great to see you and Kara as well.
Great to see you, Dr. Lou. You helped get us started in September on our road to supporting Dare to Dream, which is the children's initiative at the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. And some in the audience were here to see that. Many have not. So, Dr. Lou, take us through a little bit about Dare to Dream, what that's all about, and how that really got started.
Yeah, I'll tell you how it got started, Ted. It reflects the roots of the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society. We were, as an organization, founded 70 plus years ago by a father and mother who lost their 16-year-old son to leukemia. And they set this organization on the course to do something about that. They never wanted another family to go through that kind of experience. And we've dedicated ourselves over 70 years to funding research and helping patients directly so we can get to our vision, which is a world without blood cancer. That's how it started out. What Dare to Dream really is, it's really a global initiative to bring new, powerful 21st century medicines to the treatment of children with cancer. Simple as that. Big, but simple.
And explain to us a little bit, Dr. Lou, just how widespread is this? Maybe how many children out there are affected by these blood cancers?
Kara, it's a great question. Fortunately, cancer is relatively rare in children. But when it happens, it is most frequently leukemia. So leukemia is the most prominent form of cancer that children get. In the United States alone, there are about 50,000 children living with either a diagnosis or they've been in treatment for blood cancer. So it's a sizable problem. I think part of the good news here is that we've had great success in developing treatments for these children. Back when our founder's son was diagnosed, it was a death sentence. Today, 90% of these children survive their cancer. Now you might say, okay, we're done, right? 90% survival. Well, we're worried about the last 10%. But more importantly, we're worried about the 90% who survive, who, because of the chemotherapy they're given, have some kind of long-term side effect, like memory loss or learning disabilities or heart muscle damage. And the real goal in the Children's Initiative is to get rid of those toxic chemotherapies and bring, as I said, modern day 21st century medicines that will kill the cancer, but leave the child otherwise unharmed.
Wow. Dr. Lou, I know we've talked so much on screen and off screen about, when this diagnosis is delivered, it's not something that can be anticipated. It's usually some bad news that's delivered, and it hits families, parents, suddenly. You
Yes.
talked a little bit about how those needs for children are different. Talk to us a little bit about that part, the families and the caregivers and, what some of the needs are there.
So you're so right, Ted. There's no diagnostic test ahead of time, no predictive test for these diseases. There's not a mammogram for leukemia or a PSA test for lymphoma. Patients present with a full-blown disease, and the symptoms can be very vague. Cough or bruising or fever. And it comes upon patients and families quite suddenly. And honestly, it tips their world completely upside down. Suddenly, their child has a deadly disease. Their child has to be hospitalized. The full course of treatment for leukemia in children is 3 years. 3 years of treatment, many stints in the hospital, taking drugs every day, and it is totally consuming to the patient and the family. Caregivers, mothers and fathers, one of them frequently has to stop working in order to take care of their child. It's a financial burden on the family, and so there's a huge personal shock and upset that comes with all of this. And our goal is to be there, not just with new powerful treatments, but with our hands to hold these patients and these families, to guide them through the whole process, the whole experience, so they get the very best outcome possible.
Wow. And Dr. Liu, everybody watching right now, the whole automotive industry, the fixed ops community, what would you say is the biggest need at LLS right now, and maybe something that our industry could help with?
So I'm going to point to two things. The first thing I'm going to point to is awareness. Raising awareness of these diseases, of where we are, of organizations like the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, who can truly help patients and families in this time of need, is very, very important. And the kinds of things that Kara, you and Ted are doing really do help raise awareness in the broader community. So thank you for that. That's really important. Funds raised, incredibly important as well. I have challenged my team. I've told them, this is not a 20-year initiative. This is not 10 years. I want new powerful treatments for children in 5 years or less. And in order to fuel that, we need to raise some dollars. We have estimated that getting to the end game here will probably require an investment of $175 million over 5 years. So we're on a crusade to raise $175 million and to put it to work in bringing these new treatments to children, not only in the US, first and foremost in the US, but across the world. I don't ever want a child anywhere to suffer needlessly from these diseases.
Well, Kara and Dr. Liu, here we are, just a couple days away from Thanksgiving, and it's a great time to give back and to give thanks for, and really a remarkable last 2 years in the automotive industry and what a lot of the retailers have experienced. We have a very resilient audience that has done its very, very best to come out way ahead. And now we're going to ask them if they would join us in giving back. And everybody, I would like to ask you to get your smartphones ready, open up your cameras, and we're going to put on the screen a QR code along with our URL, which is fixedopscares.org. Again, fixedopscares.org. And we're going to ask you to scan that QR code or go directly to fixedopscares.org. That will take you to the Leukemia and the Lymphoma Society, where you can make a donation right now to help the Dare to Dream project in curing blood cancers for children. And we've made that our initiative for the Fixed Ops Roundtable. So everybody, whether it's a small amount that you donate or whether you have the ability and the means to donate a larger amount, I want to challenge all of our dealers, our general managers, our fixed ops directors, their technicians, their teams, our sponsors, our exhibitors, our speakers, our experts to join us in curing and helping the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society and helping Dr. Liu achieve that goal today. And we're going to be bringing this back on screen, Kara, over the next 3 days. And we're going to ask you all to give generously and support this worthy cause, and to have the automotive community, rally around the Dare to Dream project. Dr. Liu, it's a great, great cause.
Well, thank you, Ted. We're all in it together. Here's what I know as a doctor and a scientist. The more we learn about the blood cancers, the more we're going to be able to impact other forms of cancer as well. We had a great breakthrough in blood cancer a few years ago. It's a kind of, I call it Star Wars medicine. It's something called immunotherapy, where we reprogram the patient's own immune cells to fight the cancer. And blood cancer patients who receive this treatment are cured. of their disease. It is Star Wars medicine. Well, here's what I know. It's now being tested in almost every other kind of cancer you can name. And so advances we're making in the blood cancers are going to pay benefit for other forms of cancer as well. And our goal, my ultimate goal, a world without cancer. And I think we can get there together.
Everyone, your donation today pays dividends, and you just heard it. What starts off with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, really is just the beginning. And please join us, everybody, and Dare to Dream. Dr. Liu, on behalf of the Fixed Ops Roundtable and the automotive community, thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family, and we're going to work very hard to get this done.
Thank you, Ted. Thank you, Kara, and thanks to all of your viewers. This is greatly appreciated. Spreading the word about this and raising funds. And I hope you'll invite me back in the future so I can tell you about the progress that we're making.
All right, we'll take you up on that. Kara and I would love to have you back. Dr. Louis DeGennaro, everybody, from the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, Dare to Dream Project, here today at the Fixed Ops Roundtable.